Greetings, welcome to self-assessment for lesson 3. This is problem number 5. They want us to fill the table below. Intercepts must be written as ordered pairs. Write n if your answer does not exist. Just to stay consistent with how we do with our quizzes, I'm going to write D and E for when our answer does not exist. Okay, so let's take a look here. The main thing that we need, our main tool that we're going to be using here is y equals mx plus b to help us fill out the parts of this table, where we know that m, that's just our pal, the slope, and we know b, that's the y component of the y-intercept at 0b. Don't forget we're writing all our answers as ordered pairs, okay? All right, so let's get right into it here. So the first thing that we see is that the slope is 2 on this particular equation, and that the b part of the y-intercept is -16. Okay, so we're going to use both those pieces of information to fill in the table. Put in a slope of 2. Our vertical intercept, which is our y-intercept, is going to be at 0, -16. Okay, so to find the horizontal intercept, we know that that happens when the y value is equal to 0. So we're going to solve the equation 0 is equal to 2x minus 16, which says that 16 is equal to 2x, which says that 8 is equal to x. So that tells us the order pair for the horizontal intercept is at 8, 0. Remember, the horizontal intercept is where we cross the x-axis. Now, since our slope was positive here, in other words, 2 was greater than 0, which is a positive quantity, we know that the line increases as we move from the left to the right, so this has increasing behavior. Now, they're messing with us a little bit on the second one here. They just wrote it in the wrong order. We should really have written this as f of x is equal to -3x plus 8. That would have been a much kinder way to have given it to us, but they're just trying to see if we were awake and live and breathing here. So the slope is -3, and then our vertical intercept is going to be at 0, 8. And then again, if we want to go ahead and find our horizontal intercept, we're going to set f of x equal to 0 here, set y equal to 0. So 0 will be equal to -3x plus 8. -8 is equal to -3x. Dividing both sides by 3, or -3, excuse me, we would end up with a positive 8/3 is equal to x. So that tells me that the horizontal intercept is at 8/3 by 0. And what we see here is that -3, our slope, that's less than 0, so that tells us if I moved from the left to the right on this line that it would be a decreasing line. Okay, so the next one we've got y equals -2. Hopefully you look at that and you go, oh, I know what that is. That is a horizontal line. And since it's a horizontal line, hopefully recall straight up the horizontal lines have a slope of 0. And we also know that the vertical intercept, the y-intercept, is going to be where this horizontal line passes through the y-axis. Well, that's going to be at 0, -2. And since it's a horizontal line, which means it's parallel to the horizontal axis or the x-axis, and since those are horizontal, both horizontal, they do not intersect with each other, and so it does not exist in terms of our horizontal intercept. Behavior in this one, well, it's a horizontal line, so the behavior would be constant. Okay, and the next one we've got y is equal to x. I'm going to rewrite this slightly. I'm going to write this as y is equal to 1x plus 0, just to help me see the numbers I'm looking for here. My slope, as hopefully you can see now, my slope is equal to 1. My vertical intercept is at, well, it's at 0, 0. Well, that happens to be the one order pair that both the x-axis and the y-axis agree upon because that's their point of intersection. So the vertical intercept and the horizontal intercept are going to be the same. They're both at 0, 0. And since our slope is 1, which is greater than 0, that must be an increasing line. Okay, on the next one, they've given us the slope and they've given us the y-intercept, or vertical intercept, and they're asking us to write the equation of the line. So hopefully, without too much to do here, we go y is equal to m, which is -5, times x plus 20. Notice the -5 was my m and the b was the 20. Okay, now as we've done before, if I want to find my horizontal intercept, what I'm going to have to do is come in and say 0 is equal to negative 5x plus 20. Subtract 20 from both sides. Divide both sides by negative 5, and we end up with 4 is equal to x. So my horizontal intercept is going to be at 4 by 0. Okay, since we see our slope was a negative number, we know that this is going to be a decreasing line. Okay, all right, so now they give us two ordered pairs. They happen to be the intercepts, and they ask us to find the equation of the line that went through those two intercepts. Now, there's a couple of different ways that we could shortcut this, but let's just stay with the tried and true, what we know. If we have two ordered pairs, let's call this x1, y1, and x2, y2, we can calculate the slope between those 2 points by using the slope formula. Namely, we know that m is equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So if we substitute in those numbers, we get y2 is equal to 0 minus y1, which was negative 9, divided through by x2, which is negative 3 minus 0, which ends up getting us, well, see, a negative and negative is a positive, so that's 9 over negative 3, so that reduces to negative 3. So our slope here is at negative 3, and notice that b is at negative 9, so that's y is equal to negative 3x minus 9. All right. Okay, again, we have a negative slope, so we know that that is going to be a decreasing line. Okay, our last candidate up here is the vertical line. We had a horizontal line, we must have had a vertical one someplace also, right? So what do we know about vertical lines? Well, vertical lines are parallel to the y-axis because the y-axis is our vertical axis, right? So in terms of slope, they are vertical sloped. Well, vertical slope doesn't make a lot of sense because you end up trying to do division by 0, things blow up. So we say, you know what, it does not exist. So D and E for the slope. So the vertical intercept, well, it's a vertical line. It's going to be parallel to the vertical axis or to the y-axis. Therefore, that's not going to exist either. Okay, where does it cross the x-axis or the horizontal intercept? Well, the horizontal intercept, that's going to be at 6, 0. Okay, and since we already told you it was a vertical line, let's throw the v in there for victory because we are done. Call us endus and donus. Okay, so that's the end of this one. See you back here for self-assessment from lesson 4.